weird, like follows your every movement. And so, I've been reading a lot of people talk in the chat, and I figured it would be helpful if I made a video or two that explained some basic things to the game. Game, while yes, it's been out for almost a couple years now, we're still getting new people, so this is just a little bit of help. Automatic tasks are things that players do without being at the PC. You have to set it up. One of the most common is auto fishing. You're gonna see a bunch of people over here. All of these players up against the water here are auto fishing. They're not even at their PC. Well, the majority of them. So what happens? Why do you do it? Why do people want to auto fish? What's the purpose? Well, there's quite a few reasons, to be quite honest. Auto fishing is great for making money while you're at work or whatever. You also have an option or a chance to get items. Now you can turn it off. I'm going to show you in a second, so that way it throws things away and doesn't pick up some trash. If you're really lucky, you'll get things like relic shards, and they're kind of important. That's a bad spot. We're just going to go to the dock. To get a fishing rod, you can either go to the marketplace because players make them and sell them, or you can talk to a lot of the keepers around the wharfs and they'll let you buy a fishing rod. They're pretty cheap. They do have a durability on them, so kind of mind that. The higher level you get a rod, the more durability it gets. So you can allow to fish a little longer. So you equip your rod. You just press spacebar once, and it's automatically started. Now you could hold down spacebar and it uses up your energy pool up here, up to a max of 20, and it increases your chance of getting a fish. You can play the mini game, and it reduces the timer and how long it takes you to get a fish or item that comes from the water. And it's not really that big of a difference. I like to just let it go. If I set up auto fishing, I just minimize the game and walk off. Up here is a little check mark. This is where you can throw away items, and auto fishing is great for just reducing some time spent for a little bit of extra money. So gathering. Yeah. Gathering has a automated task to it. So you don't have to actually sit there and spend forever doing it. We need to get something to gather so I can kind of show you how it works. There is a button for that one too. So you're going to want to see where that's at. It's kind of hard to see. No, we'll just go like 4. Understand a lot of these tasks though, these automated tasks still use your energy pool. So if you plan on doing an automated task like gathering, like water over here, you better make sure you have some energy. Fishing won't require energy, so you can actually just set it up and walk off. So if I just right click it, there's an auto repeat down here, right below the bar. So that way it'll automatically use all the rest of these bottles without me having to touch it. Could go upstairs, grab a cup of coffee, whatever, you know. You can see how my energy pool goes down when it does that. Now, not all the tasks will use up your energy pool. So, there are automated tasks. Like, even though I just gathered this water, I can turn it into something else. You know, something that It's worth it. Bit processing, which is P or L on the keyboard. There you go, L. And certain things. So for example, I'll use filtering with the water, and we'll make something like purified water. This does not use up energy, and it will automatically do all of them. So you actually have to cancel it. So if you don't want it to do all the bottles, I'll just press W or whatever. Any form of movement. So auto looping. A lot of old players will be familiar that when the game first started, you didn't have auto looping. It was implemented in a couple months later. But auto looping, you build up your map, and you'll select a spot. Let's say I want to run from one spot to another. And if you press T, your character would automatically run that distance. However, there's this little button, if you look at your map, where it says auto loop. Now my character, if I press T, will run from one spot and turn back around and run back. The purpose behind this is it increases your character's breath. Breath, as it goes up, increases your stamina, which you need for combat or for long distance running. There's this little bar down here, right above my health bar. It's going down from running. If I move, dodge, and do specific attacks, it also uses that stamina bar. So, anyway. To cancel auto looping, you just walk away, move from it. You can press T as well, but the loop will stay there until I change it too. It's kind of nice. This works with other things too, though. I'll go grab a trade bag. Can I show you? So, a lot of players, to make some money, go to trade vendors and they buy certain items in here. You can look at the little graphs and see what goes where. You can link one town to another using your contribution points, which there'll be another video on how to do that stuff. But you can grab these items, you can buy them from the vendor, only X amount per time period, and the stats change, so just a heads up. But you can put one on, and then I can go back down to my auto loop, and I can press T, and I would continue to auto loop with it on. This is a cheat way of going away from your computer for hours and increasing your strength. Strength is great for increasing your weight limit. Once you have too much stuff on you, your character tends to slow down tremendously. So, it can be helpful. One more thing to automated tasks. I'll let you guys look at some of the other ways these things work. For example, that auto loop will still work with a horse if I want to level up a horse or something, but I'll let you guys figure the rest of those out. It's basics.
If you're a lot of stuff, leave it with me. Within you a lot of space.
So workers. Workers, you feed them using beer. Now you can craft beer on your own, or you can buy it from the marketplace. Some quests will reward them to you, even the daily quests, so it's pretty easy to get a hold of. Most part, people just make it on their own. Workers automatically gather items. So, you saw I was gathering water earlier. Well, there are certain tasks like chopping wood, gathering the water, getting wheats, getting certain herbs. Those are tasks that you can have workers do. Now, I only have 2 right now at the moment for our example's sake, but you need to invest in a node to stick a worker there. And then just feed them beer to recover their energy, and they'll continue to work. Mine are currently gathering at these 2 nodes. These 2 nodes provide me with wheat And that way I don't have to spend time doing it. Also, it does not use your energy pool. Whereas if I was to go and do something like that myself, it would consume my energy pool.
Money comes and goes.
It's kind of helpful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Cooking, things like that. So if I took all this wheat out and tried to cook, it would do all of it on its own. It's an automated task. So try and familiarize yourself with many of them, as much of them as you can, and technically you'll progress in the game in all sorts of categories, like cookies down here, fishing, gathering, whatever, what have you. And all these things have an effect on your character. So a lot of people do automated tasks, or they'll set up an automated task and let it run, you know, 8-12 hours. It's pretty ridiculous. So if it looks like they never log out, it's because they probably don't. Get that automated task going. Alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna show you guys probably a different video here in a little bit, but some basic how-tos and a few uses of automated tasks for you. If you have any other suggestions or any other features you want to learn how to do, you know, send me a comment, send me an email, what have you. Whatever works, I'll get back to you on that.